why I kind of always look at people step forward and step back. But because I worked on that concept so much, it helped me when I was trying to learn a better back kick. So when I was competing and training, and I went to Korea, I saw some of the best back kicks I had seen, but Mexico had a back kick that was different and as effective, if not more effective. Canada had a back kick. Spain had a back kick. And they were not traditional back kicks. My round kick is pretty good, but it's not a traditional round kick. It works, and it hits the target, and it doesn't need a bucket. And you watch those videos, you'll get it. So with back kick, I worked on a couple of different versions of back kick. And then I did not start the class the way I like to start the class, and so I'm going to apologize because I'm going to backtrack before I go to back kick because I want to save time for back whip kick, or back hook kick as I call it. So when you're kicking, what moves first? What should move first if you're kicking with your back leg? Anybody?
Head.
Head, shoulders, what else?
Shoulders.
Waist, what else?
Shoulders.
Okay, when you get in your car to go to the supermarket or Starbucks, what moves first? The car. You get in front of your car, you're going to Starbucks, do you pull your car? You get in your car moves first. There's a reason. I believe the striking implement should move first. Because hitting something is a balance between offensive capability and defensive liability. So let me explain what that means, because it's a terminology probably only I use. Offensive capability means what's the likelihood that what you do is going to result in a point or damage. Defensive liability is what is the likelihood that when you're trying that technique, you're going to get hit or countered or miss. So and then there's an energy per tone. It's like a video game. It takes a certain amount of energy to throw a technique. So that's the energy liability. So what's the most efficient technique with the highest probability of success? They actually did a study on this in Korea and published it. But what is it?
It's efficient. Don't use it.
Anybody? Nobody?
Punch is most
Roundhouse
efficient,
kick.
but we don't-
Round kick. Round kick.
70%.
That's why we do so much of it. I'm this old, I still round kick every day. I don't back whip kick every day, but I round kick every day. Because I know if I have to defend myself in the wild cities of where I live, I can round kick somebody pretty good. The second thing about round kick is you can do a lot of them. Can you do a lot of back kicks?
No, not much.
You can, but not many. You're going to get tired. It takes a lot of energy. Round kick, and actually round kick to the face for the wrong reason, is the highest percentage point-wise. You hit more body kicks, but back then, scoring them was different. If you hit somebody in the face, you almost always got a point. Round kick to the body, you could hit them and may not get a point. Now it's different with electronics. So round kick in general, highest percentage of points, lowest liability, and least amount of energy. Various types of round kicks, fast kicks, whatever. Back kick, though, why do you need a back kick?
Counterattack.
Counterattack.
Yeah.
It stops people from round kicking you. They will not kick you in the stomach if they believe you will back kick them. Because they know what will happen. What will happen is you will stop breathing. And if it's a back hook kick, you will stop seeing for a while. So it's such an important defensive weapon because everything in Taekwondo is a match. For an attack, there's a defense for the defense, but there is one perfect technique in Taekwondo. What is it? What is a technique that has no counter? Nobody can stop it.
Back kick.
Please tell me so I can come back and compete again. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
There's no perfect technique. Everything has an answer. If I round kick your backside, we just went through that. I round kick your front side, we went through that. I back kick you. What's the defense for back kick? Anybody know?
Round up.
Yeah, push kick, round kick, slide to the side, round kick, bunch of things. Every technique has an answer. Every answer has an answer. That's the beauty of Taekwondo. Everything is an interchangeable exchange of ideas and techniques. So that's why you're building, whether you realize it, a system in your mind. What I'm trying to help you do is build a system for everyone. So a long time ago, I told you, I don't know if I told you, but I'll remind you, I ran the coaching program for the Olympic Committee. And then I was challenged what to teach, how to teach. And so I created a program called the Torch Program. And again, the content doesn't matter. So the last class that was here, originally I rolled it out for the Olympic Committee schools, about 3,000 schools, and then I rolled it out to the entire country through Century. And it was really expensive. Do you know why? No, my kids were in private school. It was expensive because it should be expensive. Because the knowledge that I amassed over the years was worth money. But it's free now. Say yes. Yes. So if you're bored and you got nothing else to do, just email me or text me. I'll give you my email and text, and I will send you a copy of it free on the internet. So I built it so everybody could have it and look at it. The ideas are a little old, but a lot of it still matters. It has a ton of combinations, ton of information, ton of ideas on what to teach, how to teach, and why. The first class is crazy boring because it teaches you how to teach, and it only teaches round kick. My way of round kicking may not be your way, so don't worry about that, but think about the ideas in it. And it has a ton of combination steps and really good athletes performing, and then me talking, which will be boring, but at least it's boring. So I'd like to share that with you. But the reason I say that is I believe the striking implement should move first. And how should it move? Well, I'll show you. Esther, come. All right. There's a big guy at the back door who told me I was too short and I wasn't flexible. All right?
Shame on him.
So I want you to run to him. Come here, you're going to run too. All right, but you're going to go through that door and go around the back way. And you're going to go that way, straight line. Yeah, you're going to go around.
That guy right there?
Any guy, any guy, the big guy. Raise your hand, big man. No, that's you. Yeah. Right. There you go. Yeah, give him a big hand. Nicely done. So I like to use science. So science, that's when I first started Taekwondo, I realized I was shorter than most guys. I was fighting in the middleweight division. Most guys were 6'5", 6'7", 7-foot guys. I am only 6'4". In my mind. So I realized I had to be, what could I control? Could I control my height? No. I can control my speed, my sport intelligence, my power, that's it. I was already fast, I could get faster. I was pretty strong, I could get stronger. And I definitely could get smarter. But I couldn't get taller. And that's the beauty of Taekwondo. You don't have to be the tallest guy, you got to be the smartest guy. And you don't actually have to be the fastest guy, you have to have the best what? Timing. Timing is everything. In everything in life. So, with that said, how should the striking implement move to the target? Straight line. If you're punching somebody and their face is here, you don't go like this and like this. You don't go like this and like this, only in the movies. You go like this and like this. And you don't go like this. Because as soon as you go like this, they hit you. So if you move the hand first, or at least with everything else, it's going to hit the target. Why would the foot be any different? The only caveat is torque and power. You may get more torque and power going like this, but it's going to be later. So I always try to move my foot and my knee, and I always point my striking implement in the direction of the target. So that means as soon as I start to lift my foot, is pointing towards the target. Every kick, including back kick. So when I start the back kick, I'm here like this. This foot starts with the heel going in a straight line to the target. And that's why I want to work on back kick, because I see so many variations of it. Every kick is like that, including axe kick. Why do you bend your knee on axe kick? Shorter distance. This is beautiful and for different reasons, but this, by bending the knee, you shorten the distance and increase the torque. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the reason I say that is I should have said that in the beginning because that's my philosophy. It doesn't make it right, it's just my philosophy. What's faster, round kick or back kick?
Round.
See? Depends on your round kick. I back kicked a whole bunch of guys trying to round kick me. Depending on you. Yeah. So if you round kick better and without a telegraph and faster than everyone else, your round kick is faster. It should be. But there's another thing that's going on with back kick and round kick. When they're in open stance, actually switch it. When she round kicks, no matter how good she does it, there's a moment where her body's like this. Her body is always turning into the target. Her target area is always turning away. Think about it. If she sees this at this moment, her body's already turned away. So that's the problem. So if her round kick timing is good and she's quicker, she will hit her. She may not hit her in the stomach. She may hit her around the stomach. So she's got to hit her hard enough so that when she turns to back kick, round kick, her body moves. So if she's late, and this is why my round kick was okay, because I would hit people so hard that even if they could back kick, their back kick would go here. So if she round kick, don't kill each other. Round kick, back kick. That's why it works. If she's faster, she wins. If she's smarter, she'll win. If she hits harder, she might win. But if she's good with back kick, she knows she may get hit. She hesitates, which makes her slower. This is the gun battle in Taekwondo. What's the other gun battle? Who's faster? Round kick, potty check. If you have confidence in your round kick and you can cover, you don't worry about it. If you have to go longer and she's going to counter, you worry about it. If you're in open stance and you know, this is the classic battle. If you know she's going to back kick and you're going to round kick, you got to think about it. That's why we dance. Yeah, no bounce. That's why we bounce. That's why we move. Vegas. All right. Freeze. We pause like we're going to kick. We bounce. We shuffle in. We shuffle out. We make opportunity, and then when we believe we have it, you do it. Ah! What makes it nice? On the way out, leave $2 for the performance. Each. All right. So that's the classic battle. So what I want to do today is give you my philosophy on back kick. It may not be right. It may not be wrong. A lot of people that do a traditional back kick or back turning side kick or whatever you call it may disagree. But it's going to follow my basic rules for back kick. For any kick. I use it on round kick. That means when you watch my round kick, you'll see my knee. My feet never get to here. By the time I get to here, my foot's already like this. By the time this shoulder turns, my foot is on your stomach. It's the same rule for my back kick. By the time you see my shoulder, my foot has already hit you. So the only way that can be is if I start this foot sooner. If I do this first, they see, they can push kick, they can get out of the way. So at this moment, this is moving quickly in first. But I'm going to give you a test first. This will help you feel kind of where you are. You like that side? Okay, come on this side. Same leg? No, whatever leg you like. That's good. You like that leg? Usually I would stand it, but I'm going to stand here. No, I'm standing here. When you do this, holding to somebody, you want to be here. If you're here, sometimes it does not end well. But I am very brave. For grace! But we want them to see, you are beautiful, but they have seen enough of you. Do you guys know why I pick women to demonstrate?
Why?
compliance.
Why not? Everybody's complaining we don't have enough women in Taekwondo. We have enough women. We just don't let them do enough. Give them a big hand.
Yeah.
Plus, to be honest, I'd rather look at beautiful women than some of you guys. You guys are okay. Raise your hand. You're handsome. That's it. Raise your hand. You are handsome. Come back next to me. We're going to show them. Come on. Puerto Ricans? We're Puerto Ricans. We are handsome. Show them. All right. I know she's translating back there for him. He's like, what's he saying? Oh, man, this is his last seminar. All right, get ready. Go. Back kick there. Back kick. Oh, it's good. Do it again. You notice where I am, right? Oh, yeah, good. Okay, come on up. All right, let me see yours. I don't want the men to feel bad. Which one? Which side? $4 now. Okay, not bad, not bad. Again. All right, anybody else? All right, now I'm going to do a test. Watch this. Come on back up. You're going to stand here. Look that way, fighting stance. Stay there, good. You're going to stand. I'll stand here. I'll take the dangerous spot. You're going to stand here. No, just right like this one. Again, back kick. Again, back kick. Again, round kick. Every kick should travel in that position. Every kick. Round kick. She's actually pretty good, so I picked the wrong person. Most of you, when you back kick, there's a point where your knee comes up and out. So when I start back kick and I start teaching it for the kids, the very first thing I do is practice stepping back. When do you see your target?
Same time.
Never. Never. You feel your target. You never see your target. You don't need to see your target. Where's your target?
Right in front of you.
Right
in
there.
front of you.
If you don't feel it, what happens?
You missed.
You're too late.
Then look.
Or duck.
They're not there. Yeah, exactly. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'll go easy. Right, so I'm going to stand here. I trust Grace.
Don't trust woman.
Stand. She's going to back kick. Again. 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 Good. If she can't put her heel on this target, she can't hit back kick. Because the target you're trying to hit is the solar plexus, the stomach, the lower groin. When she finishes, I'm going to touch it. Oh, back kick. Good. When she touches, that's more or less her body. She's leaning in. That's where she should be. Her toe should be slightly down. Not this. Because as soon as she does this, and she's off balance, right? Like this. When she recovers, if she misses, she recovers like this. You can tell it's a good back kick because she can follow it with a round kick. So she goes back kick, round kick. Then her posture is correct when she lands. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So you can use a shoe or a hand just for yourself for chuckles and giggles. You're going to go like this. We're going to slow it down. You're going to change your fighting stance. Look that way. Step back. That's it. Look at me. Hello. Good. Go back. This time you're going to, as you're stepping back, you're going to kick. Kick. Where did her knee go? But it also came out. And the moment this knee came out, her body went this way, and then she came off balance. You can tell you have a good back kick because you don't come off balance and you land. Yeah. Same idea with what is that form? Where is the back kick? Kyungwon? Yeah. So you do Kyungwon? Good luck. Get ready. This is your test. Do front kick, back kick. You can do it front kick, back kick, and back kick. If you can do that, you can do this. All right, let's try back kick. I'll come around. Let's go. Grab a hand or shoe. A couple of seconds. How much time do we have?
About an hour.
6:30, right?
Oh, so it's 6 o'clock. 6:30.
5 o'clock.
Okay, sit, because you didn't hear what I said. Watch. So we're going to stand like this. You can stand up to the side. You can use your hand. They're going to turn. First, they're going to turn their head, look this way. They're going to step in. Then they go back. They're going to turn their head, peek, and back kick. That's a great kick. That's it. So the first part is this. When I'm teaching kids, I go like this. Fighting stance like this. Turn your body. Step. Peek. For beginners. I'm going to give it to you now so you have it. Face up. Come on. 1, 2, you're up. Got you 2. Sandwich yourself between two beautiful women. Arms like this. Good. Lock your arms. Yep, side by side. Yep. We need one more person. Congratulations. Lock your arm. Walk forwards. Walk backwards. Walk forwards, front kick. 1, 2, 3, front kick. Walk backwards. 1, 2, 3, back kick. Tighten your bodies closer together, hip to hip. Put your left foot forward. Right foot front kick. Take 1 step back. Left foot back. If you do it right, you should be able to do that. If you're going like this, you're one of those little stalks. All right, we're going to not do that because you saw it. We're going to do the other. So grab a target, try to kick. Let's go. Use a shoe, use your hand.
되게 못하니까. 너무 높아. 너무 높아.
대사량이 보여줘야 돼.
그냥 곧바로.
뭔지.
맞춰라.
This side.
오, 너무 좋아. 좋아. 왜 못 차? 에디. 보자. 오.
네,
It's hard. Yeah, right? It's crazy.
형원.
Yeah. Perfect.
형원. 그만 내가 잡을게. 어느 말이야? 어느 말? 키가 막 나이 되는 킥. 따라가야지. 그러고 킥들을 딱 맞추는 좀 돌아가면은 이렇게 안 맞으면 그러면 오버텐트가 나갈 수 있어요. 따라가야지. 팔로우 스루. 아, 좋아. 이렇게 두 번 뒤차기. 두 번. 하나. 이발 차고 이발 차고. 하나. 백키. 이제 운영이야, 운영.
Not flexible guy. Watch me. Hands to me. This is a coaching tip. So if I have somebody that I want to help, I hold their hands. Go. Watch again. Go.
Push.
Push, yes. And then watch, grab my shoulder. Go. That's how you, so one, you use their hands, you can manipulate how their body moves. 2, they can push you, use like a wall, right? And then 3, you'll see he's landing in the right position now, right? Give him a big hand, nicely done. Have a seat, because I want to talk to you about the next thing, right?
Yes, sir.
So congratulations, your back kick is better than yesterday's back kick. Give him a big hand. Okay, so let's think about that for a minute. When you do look and when you see at the moment of impact, if you're lucky enough, how much of it do you see? One eye or 2 eyes? One eye at most. You're like this. This eye is kind of seeing it, seeing your nose if you have a beautiful big nose. But this eye is seeing it. That's it. I got it. You finally got it. It's like, yeah, he does have a big nose.
Yeah, I've been watching like
I
that.
know, big feet too. All right, can you see me? Right? You understand what I mean, though, right?
Sure.
All right, good. So the next part of this, though, is back hook kick. We talked about that. Right? There's so many different versions of it. But if it follows all my rules, what moves first?
Your foot.
Fat, headed.
Foot first, yeah, foot first. And then when I turn my body all the way, where should my foot be?
Already at the target.
Already in your target. But what's more important is the width of the circumference. Everybody say, ooh. Yeah, put that in the Kooky One textbook. Say the width of the circumference.
Width of the circumference.
Okay, go like this. All right, that's crazy powerful. Come on up here. Can you grab a target? Open your hand like this. It's big and wide. Yeah, slap this target. Holy cannoli, do it again. Oh my God. If he could throw a back hook kick like that,
You must be Christian.
wow. Because that's Archimedes. Longer the lever, the longer the power. Longer the distance, the more momentum. Except offensive capability, defensive liability. When that's coming around, I'm going. Just waiting, right? So we're going to shorten that. Now put your hand like this. A little closer, right there. Good. You're nervous with that. It's getting cold, sir. Just turn around this. No, you went like that. Just turn. Okay, Master An did this yesterday, right? That short distance stuff. Well, the good news is we still have a long distance to travel. So let's work just on that part. Put your favorite leg forward. Lay on the floor. Turn sideways. Grace, let me borrow you. Can you come up here? Just, yeah, please. So she's going to lay on the floor sideways. She's going to do a, towards them, side kick.
Okay.
That's the beginning. Point your toe. This part is point your toe. This is more important now. Do not bend your knee. Move your whole leg. Bring it back. Tuck it in. So it starts with a side kick motion. When it gets to here, it's like a round kick motion. And then the whole leg moves. There is a bend in the knee, which is whipping. But a good hook kick at the moment where it hits a face is straight. Bend, straight, bend.
Bend.
Yes.
Bend.
Bend, straight, bend.
Bend.
Right? So
straight,
watch.
Bend. Bend. Straight.
Yeah, do it again. Keep it straight. When you practice in the beginning, practice like this. Because then you're working on the quadricep turn, the muscle, and you're getting all the leverage. Then when you get to about here, this bends this way. Okay? Never here. Watch again. Straight, then bend. Now. That's it. Now try that. Better. Got it? So what you're going to start with is just like this. She's going to be on the floor. She's looking at me. Why are you trying to get my face? I saw you. I'm like this. She's like, oh, good. That's it. Relax. Whip. Remember what Master An was saying? Just relax. This is all relaxed. That's it again. Too short. You're not All right, get a partner, try it, let's go.
뭐 누워서 하는 거야? 누워서? 비켜 찍고 있어. 오케이 나 어떨래? 물안 좋아. 쭉 피라 접지 말고. 그렇지. 펴. 그렇지. 그게 더 파워 있어. 오, 그 앞에 막지 말라.
Okay, time. All right, so I'm watching some of you guys on the floor.
Watch your back.
Put both of your hands this way on this side. Keep both of your hands this way, and this way you'll get the right flexibility. That's it.
무릎을 접은 상태에서 접어야지. 피면서, 차면서, 접차기. 그렇지. 그래야 툭 커지지. 그렇지.
Okay, time. Stay where you are. Face me. Turn around.
Okay.
All right, so we don't, right now I'm teaching, not practicing, because tomorrow you have a test, so I'm just showing you things you can take home, right? The next level of this I teach is on the wall, 2 parts. So I'm going to do 2 parts on the wall, so let me show you what that means. So now she's going to grab the wall. She's going to grab the wall. Both feet are together. Together? She's going to peek whichever way she wants to kick. She's going to lift that leg. Oh. Yes. Oh. Yes. Once again? No. Yes. And then she's going to hold it up for flexibility. In truth, she would let that arm go. Right? Watch again. And it's difficult and hard. All right, so watch me. So here. I'll practice even that way, like back kick to the face. You'll never see this. Most is that, right? Make sense?
Yes, sir.
You can do this with a wall or a person. So if you have 3 people, they could be here. Oh, you almost got your Again. And watch what I'm not letting her do. I'm forcing her.
Okay, you interrupt
Give
my
it a shot. 2
camera.
minutes. Let's go.
My camera is sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
Yep.
너무 어깨가 넘어가지고 이를 잡으라고 안 지키시는 거야. 아니 앞에 보는데 얼굴이 안 보이지. 내가 알려줄게. 안 보이고 놓고 나봐.
All right, time. All right, let's really now watch. Get a fast forward technique.
그렇지.
Now she's going
그렇지.
to
여기 봐야지.
watch me.
그렇지.
I'm making not a real fighting stance. Right? So from here, but I want to have this hand so it forces me to stay up. So I have to have this foot close enough to the wall. I have unusually long arms. I can stretch my knees without bending. But, you know, if I were as tall as my arms, I would be 6'2". Everybody say, "Aw." Then I would have kept fighting, man. So here, exactly, right? So a guy bought me a car to leave the division. So that's a joke. But here, we're like this, and I'm gonna keep my body up by this hand. So this is the last halfway step. So this foot is back, fighting stance, hand. Give it a shot. Watch Grace. One hand on the wall, fighting stance, closer. This hand turns on the wall. This hand doesn't have to be. And kick.
Spin.
Watch again.
Spin.
Hand on the wall, kick, push yourself in. That's it. Now at that moment, if she wants to stretch, she can stay here, do the stretch part, or she can bend at the very end. But you should feel it across your hip flexor. Right, it's a stretch and a kick. All right, let's go. Don't hurt yourself. Till tomorrow. Nice kick.
아까 요거 안에 발 바꿔야지. 자, 아니 뒷발 반대발 바꿔야지. 그렇지, 뒤에 뒤쳐. 뻗쳐. 다시 한 번 더. 발 바꿔야지. 자, 맞춰야지. 모아야지. 봐야지. 자. 다시 더 이거 살적에 이걸 풀을 해서 찬만 소리를 딱 이걸 지금 땡겨 손 잡고 자 그렇지 다시 이제 자세 잡아 이제 자세 잡고 땡겨 상체 숙이고 상체 숙이고 다시 상체 숙이고 다시 one more
When you spin your head, you cannot stop. All of it.
이렇게 돼.
Now, do again.
Okay. Don't kick his head. No. Okay, now.
Okay, so here again, here's the truth.
그렇지. Best teacher. That's how it do. 여기 있다가 벽이 있어, 벽.
Grace is going to look this way. Fight step.
그렇지. 아니, 플렉스 하면 하지 말고. 그렇지. 빨리 돌아오면서 확 돌아. 땡겨. 붙이고. 오케이. 맞지.
Okay, that's one. Now watch this.
Be careful. Be careful. Don't.
That's really what it's serving.
이제 뭔지 알겠어. 알겠지?
I skipped this step I should have done, but I'm going to do it now.
이해를
I skipped it. Sideways on the floor. Look. Look.
Between. Side kick and hook. Side kick and hook. 그렇지.
You can start like this. Hook. 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 Now, okay. Watch now.
Between.
Hook kick, not yet. Hook kick. Pretty good, right? That's the only thing I'm going to do. 8 seconds. All right, good. Normally we test that on the floor. So you sit on the floor like this. So there's a ridiculous too close. Then there's okay. So you don't want it out here. The only reason you hook kick out here is why?
Demonstration.
Demonstration, movies, TV. I did television for a long time, and they said, "You're terrible."
Big motion. Big
They
motion.
said, "You're too fast.
Yeah, I can see it.
Slow down and go wide." I'm like, "That's terrible technique." They go, "That's life. You can't see it." I'm doing a hook kick, and they're going, "We don't see it." You got to tell the audience, "I am going to kick his face." Because like it's true, right? So in this situation, the only time you hook kick like that is if you're close. Because then their hand comes up and it comes erect that way. It goes around the guard, especially backside. If you watch Jungkook Young versus if you watch Jungkook Young and Jay Ward from the United States in that match, what he did was wrong. Jungkook Young did the wrong technique. Jay Ward also made the wrong machine unconscious. Jay Ward did switch foot round back bottom ball, fast kick. Jungkook Young violated all the rules. He went around the full side. But the kick was here and he came a little wide. So he never hit the foot. So if you watch that tape, you'll see he kicks the wrong side, wrong technique, around the leg. So is there a right or a wrong?
Works for
It
you.
works for you. I work in that situation. Let me show you a counter for back hook kick. So normally for most people, fighting stance, she acts like she's going to round kick or she switches her feet. She does back hook kick just like back hook kick. Good. Okay. She's going to switch her feet. She's going to back hook kick, round kick. Everybody does this. How to check you on the round kick. Okay. Again, slow. You're going to go like that, back hook kick. Get ready to go. Okay, ready? Check motion, back hook kick, back hook kick. So if she waits till the foot is here, back hook kick. As soon as she's here, come back. She's here, now she starts to spin. Where can she go?
Down.
Nowhere. Yeah, she's going to get knocked out. And it works both ways. Switch your feet. Back hook kick, back hook kick. You go first. Now. Go. Now. Too late. Don't get hit. Now. Too late. How fast she's going to duck? She's Korean. So are you. All right, give a big hand. Why does that work? The space is full. Space is empty. For the same reason round kick works, that works. And it works more because that person has so little control of where they can go. They can't go anywhere. Anywhere. And there's some other kicks like that, axe kick, like if I'm fighting with her, and I start to move this way, she's going to start to move that way. Switch your feet. If I move this way, she's going to start to move that way. If I go like this, I hit her 90% of the time. Because her hand doesn't move like that if her body is moving like this. Her hand wants to move like this or like that. So you have to learn those small idiosyncrasies. Make sense? Let's try this. Okay, ready? Go like this, like this, like this. Okay, I'm just teasing. All right, get ready. We're going to try. Ready?
What I do?
Spin kick.
Oh,
Good. Start like this. Close this hand just in case. Good. Then a little tighter. Think back kick, whip kick. Make sense?
Sense.
Third shot. We'll do one last thing. Get a partner. Let's go.
자,
How we doing on time? Somebody? Oh, okay.
이렇게 내려가는데 이렇게 하시면 힘들어가지고 그냥 Really tight. Oh, come on. That's 그렇지. 그게 더 이게. 그렇지. 붙여야지. 모를 때 몸을 붙여야지. 붙여야지. 서로 걸리면 안 돼. 붙여. 그렇지. 고! 반대 봐. 힘 빼고. 힘 빼고. 고개를 들고. 이제 내가 머리를 여기다 있겠다고.
Okay,
그렇지.
come close. Let's go.
그렇게.
Sir, have a seat. Come crazy close for a second.
오케이. 그렇게.
So I figure, I had 2 vaccinations, 1 booster. My kids are vaccinated. My daughter took the vaccination test. She turned 12. Yes, I give her a big hand. I figured if I were going to catch COVID, it would be here, and it would have been 2 nights ago, so I'm okay right now. So I'm going around the whole hotel licking doorknobs. So I'll be laughing till I'm on the ventilator. So the reason I wanted to stop you for a second was, again, these are just my views. There are going to be people that disagree, and I'm okay with that. And I'm going to tell you a story why I think like this now. When I was in college, by this point I had gone to college a very long time, because remember I tell you the story, I go to Korea every year for 3 months. But I didn't tell my college. So I would just leave. And then when I come back, the professors that knew me would give me A's. The ones that didn't know me, give me F's. So I had a really weird transcript, but I had to stay in college for like 11 years to graduate, but I promised my parents, because I was Puerto Rican, my other side was Polish. No one in my family ever graduated high school. I was the first person to graduate high school. I promised my parents that I would graduate college, and so I made that commitment to myself and to my parents. So I was in college, and I took the karate class. And there were 100 people in the class, and there's a big gymnasium, so I stood up in the top. Dr. Edward Bell was his name, and he taught me Goju. Yeah. And he had a big, strong African-American, black, he's correct now, not African-American, black gentleman named Malik. And Malik was big, and he wore his uniform like this. And they did Shotokan or Goju, so he had arms like this. And Malik's in the front of the room. My name's Malik. You have a problem. You have a problem with me. Come to class late, deal with me. She'll deal with me. So I'm sitting in the top, and I had fought a lot of local tournaments. I was all American, all this stuff. I'm hiding in the corner. And Malik doesn't know me because we didn't fight in the same circles. Dr. Bell made everybody stand up and introduce himself. So I'm numbered 80 or so. So I stand up, hi, my name is Herb Perez, and I'm a music major, and I sit down. And so before I could sit down, he goes, before Mr. Perez sits down, you may not know him, but he is an All-American, he did this, he did this. So apparently he had seen me fight. So Malik, because I'm not big, Malik is big. So I sit down, I don't say anything. So we're training during class. Dr. Bell, who knew me, asked me to demonstrate. And so I demonstrated some stuff. So then Dr. Bell comes up to me after class, and he wants me to teach the class, especially the kicking parts. So I'm doing the math in my head. I go away every 3 months, and this is an A. And I took it not because I wanted to practice karate, but I took it because I needed some A's. So then I didn't have any problems with Malik. I stayed away from Malik. Malik stayed away from me. Then Dr. Bell, about 2 months into the class, we're going to have a school tournament, because Dr. Bell makes money from school tournaments, apparently. She goes, and then in the tournament, we're going to do forms. Everybody has to do forms. We're going to do breaking. Everybody has to do breaking. And we're going to do fighting. And to demonstrate what fighting is like, Malik and Herbert. So I get up, and as you can imagine, I do Taekwondo and Malik does karate, so he has no idea what I can do or what I'm gonna do. So Malik tries to us me and reverse punch me, but what he didn't know is I could punch too. So I punch Malik. And Malik, almost like a bad kung fu, I back up. So the doctor goes, that's an example of a point. Then he's looking at me because Malik's his top guy. We do spar some more. So then Malik comes again and I back kick him. And Malik's getting mad. Dr. Bell's like, that's an example, because he's waiting for Malik to score a point. That's a back kick. That's also a point. So now Malik is going crazy. He's trying to sweep me and grab me. So he grabs my leg and I back hook kick him in the face. And he goes, that is not a point because he fell down. But it's a pretty good kick. So I laugh. Well, I don't laugh, obviously. So then after the class, Malik and Thaddeus and this other guy, three guys who were in the class and they were good fighters and got into things, they asked me to stay after class because they're going to train and fight. So I'm young, I'm not really afraid of anyone. Yeah, I'll stay. So for the next 45 minutes, Malik, Thaddeus, myself, and this other guy, Muhammad, we fight. And Malik fights me for like 30, 40 minutes, trying to kill me, trying to step on me, grab me. He finally, like, I don't know, like football tackles me. He was satisfied. I tell this story because we became friendly, good friends. I wouldn't say good friends, but we were friends in a mutual respect, even though we did different martial arts. Many years later, after I won the Olympics, Dr. Bell called me. I'd like you to come, and I'm going to somebody's promotion test in Harlem. And Harlem's a tough area at this point still, not gentrified. The name of the instructor is Shaka Zulu, which if you know, is a great name from an African warrior for a certain tribe, the Zulu tribe, right? I think. And he's not Shaka Zulu, but he's named after this great warrior. And he wants me to oversee the test and maybe teach something with him. So I think about this guy, and I remember the small favor he had done me, and I pretty much taught the class for the entire semester and some others. There's a story about a tournament. I got disqualified, but that's another story. And so I say, of course, sir. I'm always thankful that people help me. So I go to see this guy, Shaka Zulu, who teaches Zujitsu. Have you heard of it?
Jiu-jitsu.
Zujitsu. Nor had I. So at this point, I had seen enough stuff in the world to know that this is a little interesting, if not / ridiculous. But I go, and I'm watching it, and they're doing self-defense to music, 2 against 1. So inside my head, I'm chuckling, this is ridiculous. And they're teaching in an apartment in New York, which is like a railroad apartment. It's a small room, and there are 5 of them in a row. And they're in this one room. And these guys, you hear music, and the guys move, and the guy's moving, and the guy's over here, and he's punching, and this guy's, and I'm like, I mean, put me in, coach, right? So, you know, let me help with his pain. And then the guy gets hit. Stop! Why did you get hit? And he goes, and this is the moment. This is the epiphany for me. He says, you got hit because you did not make a choice. And this is Korean too, by the way. Korean style of parachogi comes from Bruce Lee. It's the same concept if you read that book. And I never read it because I was like, that's whatever. Then I read it later and realized. What he said was so true. He said, you, by not making a choice, gave him all the choices. So if I'm here, and this is kind of what had happened, whatever they're doing, this guy swings his hand. Had he made this choice, I now eliminate. He can only make this choice. By not giving him anything, even in whatever, I now, had I gone like this, I would have eliminated other choices. So when he's, high five. So by making a choice, remember that OODA loop? I now limit his choices. her choices. So the reason I tell you the story, I learned something from this guy. I had gone there with no intentions on learning anything. When he said that, I started to listen more. Because regardless of what anybody does in martial art, what they do, if you pay attention, there will be something you can take from it that will make sense to you. By making a choice, I limit your choices. Now I've shortened, I've condensed the universe of possibility. By not doing anything, so that's why when I asked you, is it better to defend or attack? I'm fighting with you, I score 1 point. How many points do you need? 2. I only scored 1, but you need 2. My 1 point is worth 2. If you're winning first round 5-0, what should you do second round?
6.
Exactly what you did in the first round. So, you know, and one more story, and we'll do one last physical thing. So when I was fighting, I was known for my left leg round kick, and my back kick and my back hook kick. Only left leg. What people didn't know is I could throw right leg. I just was scoring with the left leg. And they said, all he has is left leg. That's all I needed. I didn't need anything else. I had a left leg. You couldn't do anything. So I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to win. So I don't blame today's fighters. They do what they do to win. So I didn't listen to them. And I want to give you this advice as a coach when you're teaching sparring. But then a Korean gentleman from Connecticut, I told the story yesterday, Master Kim, who owns Turtle Press, I liked him. I always liked him. So he comes up to me after the 91 team trials. And where every other person that came up to me at Sabum or would say, I only have left leg. He had said to me, your left leg is amazing. It can do anything. It counters anything. It is so fast. But if you had a right leg, it would make your left leg better, and you'd have more opportunity. Because the way he said what he said, oh. So if you watch the Olympic Games, you watch the very first kick I throw against Spain in the final. I'm in the finals in Barcelona for the Olympic gold medal. King and Queen of Spain are there. Thousands of Spaniards are there with this guy's face on the t-shirt because he had won the World Cup the year before. He was world champion. They expected him to win, Juan Solis. I'm coming in the arena. And it's concrete and the floor is bouncing. I look at my coach looks at me and he's nervous. He had been to the Olympics. And he's, don't worry, pretend like they're cheering for you. I look at him and I said, they're not cheering for me. I said, but that's okay. They will be shortly. Because when I was in the back room training, we train in a hotel room like this and they have these curtains, and in between the curtains you can see. So I'm throwing round kick on the target and I'm key upping. And I hit the target and key up, and I look through the curtain and I see him training and warming up. And the guys that I had beat were trying to tell him what to do to beat me. Mateen Sahin from Turkey, the Jordanian player. And I'm thinking, don't listen to them, they didn't win. So I kick really loud, I look at him, and he goes like this. So I said, he already lost before I got in the ring. So I go in the ring, first kick I throw is right leg round kick to the kidney. I hit him like a baseball bat. He turns around and looks at his coach, and in his eyes goes, I thought he only had left leg. So life is so happenstance about who talks to you, what they say, how they say it. So when you talk to your students, instead of telling them they're too short and not tall and not flexible enough, they are capable and great. Trapped inside of every student and every champion is a champion. What my instructor didn't know about me is I was poor. I wanted not to be poor. I wanted to do whatever I could do to get out of where I lived. What he did not know about me is I didn't give up. He didn't know that I would hang on the fire escape, challenging myself for as long as I could till I fell and I would time myself. What he didn't know is I wanted to be an astronaut. I would hold myself underwater, see how long I could hold my breath. He didn't know I had brain damage, apparently. What he didn't know was I had perseverance, I had patience, I had determination. So in my school, when we talk about life skills, I was listening to the instructor this morning talking about life skills. On our website for my school, I tell life skill stories through my students. I have them act out life skills and I film it and put it on the web. The 3 words I teach my students are patience, determination, and perseverance. Patience, because it takes a long time to win or to get better or good at anything. Determination, because you have to make up your mind and set a goal, right? Patience, determination, and perseverance, because no matter what, you can't give up. So when I went to Korea, I told you all the good stories. When I went to Korea, nobody taught me. They didn't think I was good to teach. My friend was better. They liked him. He was funny, told jokes. I wasn't there to joke, I was there to win. I watched and looked and made friends as I could, but I was there to train. If they tried to kill me, I kept coming. I had patience, determination, and perseverance. And I realized that every day, little by little, you get better and better. So when you teach your students, tell them the stories in your life from you or from someone you know about patience, determination, and perseverance. Because of Taekwondo, because of my instructor, I graduated high school, college, law school, graduate school, postgraduate school. I was council member, mayor of my city. I have a family. I'm able to be here with you guys. I enjoy a good life because of Taekwondo. Because I wandered into a school and somebody told me no. And I said yes. But there must have been something about my face, because I went, when I was like a red belt, black belt, I was trying to find somebody to train with. So I met a guy who was world champion in Kung Fu. He was the only guy fighting full contact, and he was a guy who used to fight in the basements of Chinatown as well. So I went to his school because his instructor told me, one of his students told me he had a private class for people. So I said, sir, I'd like to train. He goes, I hear you have a full contact class. He goes, what? We don't have anything like that. Nice, bye, nice to meet you. And he looks at his student like you're dead as soon as he leaves, right? So I go home, and I walk home, and I call him. Sir, I want to study Kung Fu. Why? I've always wanted to study another martial art. $50 a month, get a black uniform. So for 3 months, I showed up on the mat, didn't say anything, trained. One night after 3 months, he came to me and said, Thursday night, headgear, mouth guard. First night we fight the way we fight. After that, we'll see. So I show up on Thursday night. 8 professional kickbox champions have a private training session. I fight him, or I thought I fought him. He punched me in the face. I thought he hit me with a giant hammer. Then I saw the video. He just. He says, "Okay, I'll teach you. Now we fight your way. Bring your chest protector, this, that, the other." So he was responsible in a large part for my Olympic success, not because of what he taught me. Some of the stuff I'm teaching you is what he taught me. Counterintuitive. How do you make it work? What do you do differently? But because of the man he was. And then, it's my favorite moment of him, of which there were many. I was trying to go to the 92 Olympic Games. He said, we have to change something. We're going to change something because last time in '88, you didn't make the final. We're going to train at 3 o'clock. I said, okay, sir. What's the matter? I said, nothing, sir. Tell me. I said, well, I teach 4 o'clock. He said, a.m.? So 3 o'clock in the morning, I have to be in the gym. I live 15 minutes away. He lives an hour away. I come in 3 a.m. He's already there. Let's go. So next night, my training partner, Kevin Baddia, and I, we trained till 10 o'clock anyway. I said, let's just sleep here. So we slept in the gym that night. He came, we were there. So are you ready to do what's necessary to be successful? Not as a competitor, in your life. Is your gym successful? Are you surviving COVID? Do you need more students? Are you willing to do what's necessary? So Taekwondo fighting is a gift I received that taught me about life. Law school, I studied whatever I had to study to be able to graduate. I don't fear anyone. I went into law school, all these brilliant people, I don't even know how I got in. But I knew I was capable because I survived Taekwondo. Because as you reach levels in your sport, whether it's in forms, pumse, your personal development, you wait for the moment you cannot achieve it. One of my seniors is here. He's from my school. Give Mr. Solo a big hand. He could tell you the real stories about me, but you know, he was my senior, and we had a very good fighter in our school. Was one of my seniors, and then we were famous for fighting in the New York area, and all of it was very challenging and difficult. In our school, maybe 25 people, 15 most, but 5 All-Americans, because we were willing to do what's necessary. We didn't equivocate, we didn't make excuses. So Taekwondo taught me that in life, and that's what I share with you today. I don't care about technique. I don't care about progression. What I see when I talk to most people is they lack systems. They think they have a system. They think they have a curriculum. They think they know what they're doing. And you do. For you. But is it replicatable? Is it duplicatable? Is it shareable? A great instructor can look at any individual and correct exactly what they need to see and feel to make something better. They can fix what your problem is differently if you have the same problem. So when I walk around and look at each one of you, I see what's missing, and I think back to my own training, and that's why it's good to have a bad Taekwondo instructor as an instructor for yourself, because they had to fix their Taekwondo to be okay. I did not have a lot of talent. I was a very hard worker. I had to fix a lot of my Taekwondo to be just okay. Our school was notorious. Our instructor was a great puncher, but his punch was very short, and he would, I can't even demonstrate it, but there was this motion with his hips. There was the punch was straight, and it was only from here. And when he punched you, it felt like you had a hole in the back of your heart. And so what we would do to each other, he would pick somebody to punch and demonstrate on, or you'd raise your hand, and he would punch you. And then you would act like it didn't hurt. And then when he would turn around, you go. But then we were smarter and older, so what we would do is as he was punching, because if you acted like you didn't understand, he would do it again. So if he was punching my senior, I'd go. So he'd punch him again, right? Then he realized what we were doing. And so if you were the guy that went like this, you were the guy that got punched. So I still to this day wish I had his punch, because it was such an amazing punch. And that's why I kind of laugh about, I'll tell the last story, we'll kick one last time maybe. But the WT for a very long time would not score a punch. They have a rule for it. And it frustrated me because I really could punch people. Like I would punch, you know what I mean? I'd punch a guy and he'd be on the floor, couldn't breathe, holding onto my arm, not letting it go. And they'd go, no point. And I'd be like, okay. So then finally I'm older and I'm the head of team or I'm a coach or something in some world championship. I'm at the team meeting, I raise my hand, I say, can I ask a question? I said, in the history of mankind, you have never scored a punch in a Taekwondo tournament that I've attended as an athlete or a coach. Do you know how embarrassing that is? What you're saying is that the biggest and strongest men we have cannot punch correctly enough to score a point. you're saying Taekwondo men and women are sissies. We cannot punch correctly to score a point. Take it off the books or start scoring. Does anybody know why they didn't score punches? Anybody?
They want more.
They want more kicking. Then say that.
It was boring.
Say, it's boring, we don't want to kick, we don't want any punches. By the way, we know you can punch a whole lot more than you can kick. If you go like this, we gotta score 2. We don't want to score that, we're not gonna score it, don't do it. Or if you punch him and he kicks you, he doesn't get a point for the kick. Do something. So they finally started scoring punches a little bit, but that's the reason. So what's the problem with that? People stop what?
Kicking.
Stop punching.
Oh, punching.
On top of it, they don't know how to punch anymore. I would stand with any current athlete and let them punch me now. And laugh. I'd let them back kick too. Because the Taekwondo rules now are changing the sport so much that nobody punches correctly, nobody kicks correctly. If you punch, I won't punch you. No, I think your dad's here. Is your dad here? Is your dad here?
No.
Oh, good, all right, maybe. All right, no, I don't want to punch. The idea is that if you punch, the punch should displace the body or it should hurt. If you watch guys now, they all punch for show. They want to show that there's a punch coming, and they want to show that they did it so that they get a point, and they all throw their hand like this. It's not correct technique, and it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like if you watch it, it's like, ha! What are you, baking a cake? But anyway, so what I implore you to do as martial artists, what I'm trying to say to you is, and it's consistent with it's consistent with the Kuki-Wan's philosophy. Master An and the Kuki-Wan, they believe in their hearts that if you do Taekwondo correctly, you will be a better person and help people. They believe in their hearts. When you do this, you're building your chi. They believe there's a practical application for this in some place. Okay, so do I. If you believe that, then I can tell you, hook kicking somebody to the body has zero practicality and purpose. I don't care who you are. You cannot hook kick somebody in the body where it matters. Because a martial art fighting, the purpose of it is defense, it's war. You hit somebody, it has to have an impact, stop them from hitting you back, or it has to hurt them where they don't want to hit you back. So if you can't hook kick somebody to the body and they stop breathing, it's not a valid technique. So when you go back to your dojans, make your curriculum around valid techniques. And the question you ask yourself is, if I threw this technique in a match or in a self-defense situation, would it stop the other person from hitting me or wanting to hit me or being able to hit me? If the answer is yes, it's a valid technique. So on those rules, what are some valid Taekwondo kicking techniques? Anybody? Say round kick. Fast kick if you do it right. Cut kick. Back kick. Side kick. Axe kick. Any kick you can think of. Back whip kick. Nada-ban double kick. Those are all powerful techniques if you do them correctly. What is not effective, and I used to throw them for fun, are scorpion kicks. They want to act like they invented the scorpion kick. I invented the scorpion kick. I did it to people that weren't very good at Taekwondo when we were fooling around in the dojo. They'd be here and I'd kick them behind the head. We all did it. We all did the Z kick. For fun. We didn't try it against anybody good, right? Because you know what would happen, right? They'd kill you. So when you go back to your dojans, I'd like to believe that the Kuki-Wan wants you to do real Taekwondo. So that means a good fighting stance, practice your basic round kicks, practice your side kicks, practice your back kicks, be able to put them on a target with power. So that if you go to my torch program, and I promise you all it's worth your time and energy, and you view it, what you'll see is consistency. I teach the method in the air. I teach the combination, I teach it on targets, I teach it on shields, and then what's the next step?
Person.
People. Because the goal are people. Targets and shields and bags serve a purpose, but only people are the real purpose. You have to understand the application, and you understand the application through application. That's it. The purpose is through application. That's why when you talk, if I said to you today, okay, let's round kick. Am I helping you? Today we're going to round kick to the back side of the body. And the reason we're going to round kick is it is singularly the most effective technique and energy-wise and safest technique to perform because your eyes are facing your opponent and it shuts down half their counterattack ability. That's the introduction. Let me show you what I mean. Demonstration. Let me explain the purpose. Then I apply it on a body. Here's a round kick. Let's do it on a target. Let's do it on shield. Now let's do it against a padachai. Application and effect. If you think about that every time you teach, then your Taekwondo teaching will get better. And I don't care what you're teaching. I don't care if you're teaching round kick, by way, back kick, doesn't matter. Finally, when you're teaching, the other method is whole, part, whole. When you're teaching children, teach the whole part. Then break it into pieces, then teach the whole part again. So if you're teaching round kick, show them a round kick, let them do round kicks. You want to see my beginner class?
Yes.
Watch this. Here's my intro. Come on up, buddy. How you doing? Nice to meet you. High five. Good. My name is Chuck E. Cheese. Good too. Come on up. I'll get you. Watch this. This is a round kick. Beautiful. Watch it. See what you did? To the top of her foot. Okay, let me see your round kick. You're pretty good. That was pretty good. Let's try to hit the target this time. Excellent. Good. High five. I did not teach him a single thing about round kick. I demonstrated using her what a round kick is because kids learn through osmosis. Then I start to correct. And then if the guy's terrible and he does like a soccer kick, because a lot of kids do that, come up, where'd you go? Do it, you know a soccer kick? Okay, do that. Okay, that's pretty good, that's pretty good. All right, try this, lift your knee up like this. Okay, now just go straight up. Good. Now come down like a high five with your foot. That's beautiful, we call that max kick. Kick up again. That's pretty good. Now watch us, turn it a little bit. Turn a little more. Dude, that's such a good round kick. High five. So in 3 seconds, yeah, I fixed his technique. Give him a big hand. So while you're teaching fighting, you have to look at the individual, the level where they are, what they come to you with. In the area that I teach, I live in a tech area. So a lot of tech people. And tech people come from various other cultures and countries to my country, our country. And some of the cultures they come from, they're not athletic. They study. They do math. So then in one of my schools, I have a couple schools in the same area, I'm watching these kids. They take 3 steps. We're running to the shield and flying side kick. In my other school, I say, run, jump, kick. The kid flies, jump, kick. This school, run, get up. Okay, next, get up. So I'm like, what's going on here? And then I realized culturally, where these people come from, they don't do sport. They don't do sport. And at first I thought it was just the kids. Then one of the dads came in and joined his kid. I said, run, get up. And now I'm like, oh my God, it's cultural. They're great scientists, great this, great that, but culturally they didn't do sport. They're not athletic. By nature, they are athletic. They don't realize it. So I have to teach them differently. So that's a great question. I have some still that I struggle with because they, not only are they not athletic, they don't want to be there. Their mom and dad bring them, and I'm like, So how do you get them to do what you want to do? Well, there's 2 ways. You watch the video of the guy with the board, that's not the way. That kid ain't coming back, nor his parents might come back. But you have to accentuate the positive and ignore the negative. You have 4 kids and this kid's being horrible, congratulate the 3 that are good. Make an example of the kids that are doing it well. Good job, almost. I like the way you're being quiet. Excellent job, almost. Second, how do you fix it? Find the thing they can do, because they can do something. If he's taken 3 steps, get him to the 4th step. And then if you get a kid who really doesn't want to be there, at some point you just have to have a realistic conversation with them, which I've done. And I'm like, you're really trapped inside of you, and I really believe this. Trapped inside of you is a champion, somewhere in you. You don't have to go to the world championships, you have to be a Taekwondo Olympic gold medalist. But you're going to find that passion in your life that you care about. And when you do, I'm going to show you how to become that person. And by the way, your parents signed a year agreement, so you will be coming here for that. So you're going to have to see me, so you may as well like me. So, and then I'll say this to you as a Dojan law. I think some of the guys.
It's after 6.
Cookie one, God's got, or I don't want to say anything. Cookie one. So, I will say this, and I've said this to others: create your community. So if I meet you and you don't belong in my house, I don't give you an invitation. Not everybody gets to come to my house and enjoy my cooking. So if I meet a parent or a child and they're there for the wrong reasons, like I had a student come in, the dad comes in, he's president at IBM. His son comes in, he's wearing a, there's a word we use, it's not correct, but he's wearing, there's no correct word for it. The one word is racist, the other word is misogynist. So I apologize for the word. Can I say it?
Yes, sir.
They call it a wife beater. You've heard that word?
Yes, sir.
That's misogynist, and the other one they call it I don't even like to say it. It's an
No-sleeve
Italian
t-shirt.
t-shirt, but there's a word for it.
No-sleeve t-shirt.
No sleeve t-shirt, but like this. He's 15. So imagine he meets me and he goes like this. His dad goes, "Hi, this is Nicholas." Nicholas goes, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "You don't even have to pay." So Nicholas comes in and he is a hoodlum. So but he's a rich hoodlum. $3 million houses where I live. The whole thing. And I fixed Nicholas. But then ultimately I couldn't fix Nicholas because his father couldn't fix him. He was living vicariously through him. So when Nicholas did something wrong, he kept making excuses. So this is a bad story, so I tell it anyway. So then finally he gets caught smoking pot in his Mercedes-Benz with the blacked out windows and the boom box in my beautiful $3 million neighborhood. So I go, what did you think was going to happen? So his mother calls me because the father's on a business trip. So I said, have him come to the school. Bring the car. So he comes to the school, and I think about what my instructor would have done. So I said, "Nick, how you doing? Come on in. Have a seat. You come in your car? Yeah. Can I see your keys for a minute? Oh, thank you. This is my car now. I'm going to park it in front of my house. When your father comes home, if he wants it, he can come see me. But you don't have a car anymore. I told him when you got in trouble, you should sell the car and pay for the lawyer. So I'm going to keep the car. When you straighten yourself out, then tell your daddy can come get the car. And by the way, if you have a spare set and you move it, I'll know. So that worked for a little while. Then the dad came back and asked for the car back, so I gave him the car back. Did he get in trouble again?
Yes.
He did. So that's plan B. So plan B is when I say to Nicholas, I realize nothing else is working. So the next time you get in trouble, your reflection on me, because the police come see me about you. So I'm going to bring you in the room, and I'm going to beat you physically. And you can fight back, but I'm still going to win. Now I realize that's not going to make you feel better, and it's definitely not going to make me feel better, but I'll feel a little bit better. But now you know that there's a consequence, because your father and parents don't give you a consequence. There will be a consequence with me. And so when he came in, he got in trouble. I had one of my good black belts beat him in Taekwondo. Training, but badly. Like, he was badly. And it worked for a long time. Until he started robbing houses in our neighborhood.
Oh my God.
And got caught. And then the dad was funny, because I tell the story about parents. Because then the dad came in, and he wants to meet with me. I'm in Korea at this point, but the World Championships when we were in Korea way down south. And I get a call. They found the guy robbing houses. You're not going to believe who it is. And I'm like, who? And they go, Nicholas. And I go. So I come home, and the dad calls me. So I figured the dad's calling me to apologize. Dad calls me, goes, all right, yeah. I said, so can I give you some advice, Mr. Garcia? I said, sell the car, hire a really good attorney. And by the way, let him go to jail, because everything else you've tried hasn't worked. He says, oh, yeah, but he didn't do, I go, he did it. I said, the police, I'm on the city council, I already know, they told me the story. They have more evidence than you know. this is the only thing that's gonna work. He says, can I ask you a question? He goes, could he ask me about his second degree?
Oh my God.
And I
Oh
said,
my God.
Mr. Garcia, it was nice talking to you. I can't help you anymore. And then I left.
That's why the kid is screwed up.
Sad day, sad day. The reason I tell you the story is no matter what you do as an individual, as an athlete, whatever you try may not work. And every once in a while, a parent comes to me and I offer them plan B. So I will give you one example when plan B works. I'm not telling any of you to do this. This is old style Taekwondo. The mom comes in to me and she had heard about plan B. I said, everybody in my school's on plan A. Do what I do what we say, it all works out. But I do have a plan B. They're like, what's plan B? I said, you don't want to know. So the mom comes in, she's German, scientist. Dad's German, but he's like a hippie kind of German. So he won't discipline his son. So the mom says, can you help me? I said, sure. She says, he doesn't turn his homework in. He does it, but then doesn't turn it in. I said, so I called him in the office. I said, Nicholas, what are you doing, Lucas? He goes, well, sir, I do it, but I said, why don't you turn it in? He goes, because they won't do anything to me. I said, okay, I will. I said, so now put me on your school email. I'm going to check your assignments. The first time you don't turn it in, I'm going to cut your hair. Because he used to have hair kind of like this, even more hippie-ish. I said, we're going to shave it. The second time, I'm going to take your clothes and give you, because he dressed kind of like a dandy. I said, I'm going to give you one pair of jeans and a gray polo shirt. The third time, I'm going to dress you like an English schoolboy in shorts and on the hat and the vest, the little cap, like AC/DC. I said, and you may think the first time you can just tell people I got more serious about my life. The second time you say I changed my style. The third time, you're going to have to tell them what's up because on the back it's going to say property of gold medal. So he does his homework for a while. And by the way, you have to come live in my house on the weekends. And after school, you come to my school and do your homework in my school. 3 months, 3 weeks, whatever. I looked, he didn't do got a 0 on homework. Coming here, how you doing? My wife is next door, she's an optometrist. I said, honey, take him to the haircut place down this shopping center. Shave his head. Walks him down, my wife is Asian. Chinese. Lucas is blonde-haired white kid. Walks in and he's crying. We're going to the haircut place. He's going to shave his head. The woman's looking at him like, really? Because she's obviously not his mother. So they shave his head, brings him back to the school. He comes to my office. He's crying. I go, what are you crying about? He goes,
I didn't think you'd
I like my hair. No, obviously not enough, right? He was fine for a while. Then he did it again. So he changed his clothes. And he's living in my house on the weekends.
And you're doing that on purpose.
Yeah, he's staying in my house because I want to.
Maybe he likes that.
At
That's
first,
fine.
I was going to have him like cleaning my house and doing stuff like Miyagi, but instead I just let him live. So then he's great. Then 3 months later, he does it again. And he says, the teacher made a mistake. I said, what did I tell you about that? No. Take him for the haircut. Takes the haircut, no crying. Next day he comes back with a letter from the teacher, she had made a mistake. So I said to him, the moral of the story is, I said, double check. I told you I wasn't going to listen to anything. So that's the job that you have. I hear so many stories about people being instructors. It depends to what level you want to be involved in somebody's life. So I know we have to go. So the last thing I will say is this. Now when I take students, my newest location is my private location. I interview the parent. The student writes an essay. I make a decision that night. If the answer is yes, you have 24 hours to say yes or I don't take you. If I don't like you, I send you to Miss Michelle, one of my instructors who has a school. If I think you're good for our organization. If I don't like you at all, I send you to my competitor. And you have to pay 1 year in advance, $6,000.
I didn't get that.
$6,000. Does it sound like a lot of money?
In California.
Then you can't afford it. Go somewhere else. Because I've decided I'm creating my community. I want, in my personal location for me, 100 students that I want to teach and watch us grow as human beings. I don't want any more, I don't want any less, and if you're not for me, that's okay. My children go to an independent school, private school, 600 people apply for 60 spots. They don't take everybody, they create a community, and it's a beautiful community. Why should we be any different? So if I don't like your parents because they don't have the right values, I don't like you because I don't think you're going to be great, I don't care how good you are physically, why do I want you in my lobby poisoning my beauty? Go somewhere else. And I learned this from COVID. Raise your hand if you lost members during COVID. How many of them kept paying you knowing you were going through a hard time, but they were still working and they didn't pay you? Everybody in this room. I learned a lot about loyalty. My instructor, I paid him even when I didn't have money. Then when I didn't have money, which I didn't, I'd stop paying. And after a year, every time he called me in the office, Master Kim, okay. And I was in trouble. I want to see you. So I'd sit there. Sit up straight. He wouldn't talk for 45 minutes. I'm just sitting there. Then I'm just not looking at him. He looks at me and goes, so what did you want to see me about? I said, sir, you asked to see me. He's like, that's right. And still didn't talk. So I start confessing. Sir, I'm sorry I didn't pay. I'm sorry. He says, okay, forget about last year. Start paying now. And every year would happen. I'd pay for a certain amount of time that I could afford because I was in college. Then I couldn't pay. And every year, he gave me that gift. So the last thing I'll say, because I know we got to go, is what is your Taekwondo education worth? What would you pay your instructor in cash if you could? How much is mine worth? I can't pay him in cash. The gift he gave me, they can't pay you in cash what you're going to do for that person. They can only pay you in loyalty. They can pay some small amount to the general good that helps you have a good life. You spend more time becoming a Taekwondo master than most people spend being a doctor. It took me 3 years to become a lawyer. I've been doing Taekwondo 52 years. I'm a higher level professional in my sport than a plumber is in his. What is that worth?
Priceless.
People will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So treat them well, expect them to treat you well. If they don't belong in your community, send them to somebody else's school. They'll be somebody else's problem. We should teach everybody, but not everybody is deserving of your teaching. So that's my general soapbox. I know we got to go. All right, stand up, face master, Grandmaster Kim.
Yes, sir.
How about the master?
No, we bow to each other, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Give him a big hand. Let's go.
Get up.
All master instructors, you have people in
And
this room
bow
facing.
to the master first.
I'll bow with you. Let's all face each other.
Oh, you're the
Thank
teacher,
you.
so.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
Okay. Everyone is going to go to another room right now.
지금 빨리 나가야 되나?